I have not unmuted our microphones, and I forgot to add all
So
the
they
screens
just got
in.
us.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Welcome everyone to this first episode of A Pair of Rankers. Kind of the first episode of A Pair of Rankers.
Oh, I love it. It started with your head.
Yeah. It all went. I forgot to kind of do the bit before
I
the show.
take back everything I said earlier.
Absolutely fantastic.
This is going to be. Well, this is a new show. It's hopefully going to be fun. I mean, it might be a complete car crash, but we'll see. If it is, we'll probably just blame it all on Richard.
Thanks.
Richard Simpson is here, therefore it will be fun. That fun is guaranteed.
So
I know.
It's built into his fee.
So how this is going to work is Luke and I are competing against each other to try and guess how Richard has ranked 5 games. We know the games and we've prepared some questions about them. From those questions, we're going to try and determine where each game might sit in a list of 5. And so thank you, Richard, for taking all that time to pick 5 games randomly. That random button on BGG really came in handy. Just random game.
It's one of my favourite buttons in Board Game Geek, BGG or whatever. Do they call it BGG? Is it gone the same way as Prince by just making itself a symbol? Are they going to go back?
Might have done.
Are they going to go back to calling it Board Game Geek again? You know.
Well, it's BGG.
It's the
Con,
website
isn't it?
It's the website formerly known as BGG. Yeah.
They're just going to have a symbol. Well, they did turn it into a symbol,
yeah,
didn't they? They
weird?
turned
Yeah.
it into that kind of attack
They-
of a highlighter pen kind of thing that's going
a
on.
thing that's apparently the head of the thing that was there before, but doesn't look like the head of the thing that was there before, and therefore it's nonsense.
It's all a bit odd.
I kind of like it. I like it.
I actually do quite like the symbol
I
now.
quite,
but-
now that I'm used to it now, I kind of like it.
yeah,
I do like it because before
it's the thing that nobody was asking for though.
well, it's like when you're giletting carrots and you're cutting the ends on and making them square,
Gilletting cards.
and it was just one of these things that kind of looked. It looked like it was like I was like that, and I was like, "Who's been giletting carrots then?" Which was the thing.
The best
Yeah.
a cruciferous vegetable can get.
I thought it was like, I reckon it was actually a mistake from the graphic designer and they forgot to turn a few layers on, like in the program before they sent the final thing, and that was just like the background. And then
the
like,
initial layer.
yeah, and the people at BGG were like, "This is great," and so they were like, "Oh, shh,
Fabulous.
don't say anything."
No soul. You've no soul. You're the type of person that goes into an art gallery and looks around this and just goes, "Oh, this is just paint, isn't it? I could do that in 5 minutes. Just give me some emotion."
But I'll
No
have you
soul.
know, I
Yeah,
don't go
that
into
looks
art
like
galleries.
Dulux
I just go
colours,
for the
yeah.
gift shop and the toilets. And sometimes they've got
You
nice
do.
cafes, haven't they?
That's so you can get like the wobbly thing that goes on the top of a pen,
Yeah.
so you can go like that. Mesmerising myself again.
A little rainbow-coloured rubber and a really little notebook.
Yeah. Or
And
a
and
leather
a
book,
fridge magnet.
a leather bookmark.
Oh.
You don't.
Of course, the old leather bookmarks with the
You
little
don't-
Tesla bits.
Yeah.
You don't get them anymore, do you?
Kids
That
don't-
used to
kids
be
don't
a
know that-
prized
Kids don't know they're
possession.
born. They don't know they're born.
Prized possession that used to be. What did you get me? And somebody give you a leather bookmark. They go, there you go, son,
Oh.
leather bookmark. There you go, my
With
girl. leather
gold
book-
embossed vision of wherever it's from.
And sometimes they went far enough ahead in the story. It was fantastic. Loved
Oh.
it. Loved it. Do you know what I find funny?
Go on.
Is the fact that we've got. The fact is that we've got Luke Pryor, and we've got Mark Cook, and the fact is that Luke's actually a cook. Really, he's a bit of a cook.
I was
And-
formerly a professional cook, yes.
There you go. So he's a professional cook, and obviously Mark is known for all of his prior convictions.
Oh, yeah.
So that's so that's kind of an interesting kind of play with words.
We've
like
done
that.
so many videos together. Why has nobody made that?
I just,
Because
this is
nobody-
what happens when you
You
bring
need
me
somebody
on.
with the sharp and unusual mind of a man like Richardson.
This could be your lucky day. Anyway, what are we doing? We rank. Where are we rank? Are we ranking?
We're going to rank, yeah. I was going to quickly say some nice things about you, but I might skip that bit now. So, for those of you, you may recognise Richard. You probably recognise his voice more than his face, because he doesn't usually like to be seen in public.
No.
For obvious reasons. But he was
Now you
formerly
see why.
not a wizard, He might be not a wizard again at some point.
I'm still trying to establish this. Are you a wizard? Are you not a wizard? Were you never a wizard? Did you once think you were a wizard and then realise you weren't a wizard? What? I don't understand your wizard trajectory.
I've decided to keep it freeform.
That's probably the best way.
You can decide whatever you want. Because if you look at the actual written thing, it's we are not. So it's quite clearly a statement. However, if you look at the web address of the Twitter account, it could be read as we were not wizards, which means we formerly could have been wizards. So therefore, is it just a little bit of self-hatred? Are we potentially, now that we're no longer actively, we're not wizards,
Passive
are we now
wizards.
potentially dipping back into wizardry?
I think you might have. This might even have a page in the president's book. It's such a conundrum.
It's ghostwritten.
That and why are shower heads so lowly pressured? I think.
Why are? Until you get a decent, better shower head, and then it's such a difference. Such a difference.
Apparently, it's not.
Such
Apparently, it needs law change. That's what it needs. It's in the news. Good.
We're not going to get into discussing shower heads.
Yeah, we won't.
Surely.
Right. I thought we were ranking.
We are going to rank.
Ranking shower heads.
Speaking of
off to the B&Q website.
Speaking of rankers,
Let's go. I'm going to go home base.
So we also have 3 lifelines each, as you can see on the screen. The first one is Game Face, where we get to ask Richard to make a face about how he feels about the game. The second one is Owned, where Richard tells us if he owns the game or not. And finally, Random Rank. We will name another game that's not on the list of 5. He will tell us whether the current game that we're talking about is higher or lower. He ranks that game higher or lower than that. Okay, so Richard, you're up. First game then is Wildlands. Tell us about Wildlands.
Wildlands is a card drafting resource management game where your aim is to help the colonization of Mars by managing your resources to the point where you'll build up the atmosphere, the greenery.
I was thinking for a second, I was like, is it? I thought it was fantasy.
Wildlands is basically it's a kind of a My First Skirmish game, designed by Martin Wallace, who obviously this is the muck. He then went on to get the brass. Sorry.
Wow.
And wow, there you go. But it's essentially it's a little tactical skirmish game. It's a card-driven skirmish game where your idea is you to go around either defeating your enemies and other teams, or grabbing crystals in order to win the day.
Okay. Right. I'm going to go first with the questions because I'm tallest.
Can't just keep adding that rule into everything.
That's like that, isn't it? Who's good at the cinema?
I know it worked very well at Alton Towers, but other than that,
You're just annoyed you had to go to the Caterpillar ride. Like this.
Yeah.
So there was
fun.
not Alton Towers. What's the other one that they've got? The other theme park. Oh, I can't remember what it's called.
Thought Park.
Thought Park. There was a ride there that I basically didn't fit in. It was like my shoulders were kind of crunched like that, and it was called Titan or something like that. Oh, it was an awful experience.
I'm just wondering if you were actually born that size, if you just popped out.
No, he came in like one of those sets that you got a bit of every month, and eventually. His mum's got a really lovely book binder set. All about Mark.
Every week.
What was really good was the first one was half price. So,
Exactly. For the first few weeks, he was a bargain, and then after a while, his mum was just like,
they scalp you, don't you? They scalp you after that. But you're committed. You're committed, didn't you? As soon as you've got a left arm and an eye, you're all in.
She had 3 toes and an eyeball, and she's like, "I've got. I'm in now. I want to see how they're going to do the knee joint."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just felt sorry for the woman in the next bed. She had it the other way around. She had 3 eyeballs and a toe, and they just didn't know what to. Okay, so what I'm asking: if you had to survive, Richard, in a post-apocalyptic future, what one household item would you take with you that has to be in your house now?
A copper-based frying pan.
I'm making notes, so like that's going to make a difference.
I could
frying pan.
Why-
understand justifications for that. That's
Why?
yeah.
Because it's practical. It's nice and bright and shiny for attracting attention. It's got a nice solid handle, and it's got a really good base. And you can hurt people with
Do
this
some
thing if you
damage.
need to. Or if you want to have the majority of the soup, you just go in and say, "Oh, here's my ladle," and you just go in and and that's what you do. And that you can wear it as a hat. You can wear it as a chest piece. You can sit in it and you can go down a hill sledging like this. You could tuck it down your trousers and look like you're impressive. With the handle,
Oh, thank you for the caveat of that. Yeah.
it's literally the utensil. Oh, you can cook with it as well.
Oh.
It's the
I
utensil.
love the fact that now we get to the fact you could cook with it.
Yeah.
Now
It's
we
quite
get
I
far
would
down the
assume
list.
you're speaking to a professional cook or an ex-professional cook that I wouldn't have to have given you that information. Look,
This is true. This is true. But
I thought you would have
many are
grabbed
not.
that.
Many is not as culinary educated as one is.
It's what is.
I think I might have to get myself a copper-based frying pan.
You can
And
get
it
them.
Conduct,
You can get them.
conducts electricity. Conducts heat very well. Yeah, I can
It's
see
just
why
like,
you'd
it's
have
like
one.
the advert. It's like the advert. You can go.
All right, Luke.
Do you like going about in the apocalypse? Do you want to be able to fight off the ravenous, radiated zombies that are going to stretch your way? Then you need yourself a copper-based frying pan from JML.
Yes, JML.
Guaranteed.
Available in all non-ransacked Wilkinsons.
Right next to the cassava juicer.
It's the twisty mop. That was
Why?
nice.
So, right. So,
Like,
what on earth, Mark, have you learned from with his regarding his opinion on Wildlands?
I've made
And
notes.
that question. When I read that question, I was like, huh?
Because it'll tell me-
He's Fazilian Princess Bride, isn't he? He's like, you've told me everything. You know. I don't know.
Well, let's see
I
how
just-
good your question is then. What are you asking?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I think my question.
Wait. I've got to prepare myself.
Ready? Ready?
Right, okay.
So, do you like unique and unusual rules or mechanics, or do you prefer the familiarity of proven systems and mechanics? So, do you like things that don't appear so often, or even never anywhere really else, or do you like good sort of pretty commonly known mechanics?
I think it would have to be a frying pan. And it's because it's practical.
See
I
the
can
flaw.
cook with it. As someone in the position that I'm in, who's a world-class fraud at trying to make people aware that I know anything about board games at all, I actually prefer the new and unusual kind of the new and unusual mechanics, because then I'm as lost as everybody else. If somebody's talking to me about a rondelle, I think that's a meringue with strawberries on it. You know, but if somebody goes like, say, you know, if you're talking about, say, Wildlands, yeah, that is an unusual mechanic where you use cards for movement, and that is an unusual thing. You know, it's an unusual type of thing. So I prefer kind of new and unusual mechanics over the old and familiar, because it allows me to cheat.
Okay. I think I'm going to use a lifeline. Exciting. An exciting moment.
Oh, here we
So-
go.
So if you could close your eyes, Luke, I'm going to use owned. Do you own this game or not?
You got to say it out loud.
Okay. I've got all the information I needed, Luke. I know exactly
Okay,
where I know exactly where this is ranked so far.
Can I see your other hand, please, Luke? Because you're obviously ranking there, and I just asked just in case.
You'll know when I'm doing that.
He's having a good
I'll
thing.
start sweating.
Okay. Wow.
You know, the kids are screaming outside, and I'm currently like going, when do these people go to bed? You know. It's like they'd be melting outside by now. You know, it's like I hope it rains. That's what I'm thinking. That's how bad I want these kids. Nobody can probably hear them, but they're screaming away like they've been asked to play. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Right. Anyway, this is fine.
Do you want to use any of your lifelines, Luke?
So just walk me through. So they've got that one, the owned one.
Yeah.
Right.
You've got game face, where Richard's going to make a face about how he feels about the game. And then random
I'm
rank,
pretty confident I know that.
where you'll compare it to a different random game that you choose. It's not on the list.
No. I'm feeling. I feel I actually got information from my question.
I think I got information from your question too.
Well, then you are a lunatic.
I just, I'm building a
Because
picture.
I think you've learned more about what he goes for in the John Lewis kitchen department than he knows that he says about Wildlands.
Well, let's just see.
Posh. Oh my goodness. Maybe he's learned an awful lot about me and my shopping habits. That's important.
Probably,
It's the bigger game. Maybe I lied.
So next up, Ashes, Rise of the Phoenix Spawn, which is kind of being reborn or something.
Yeah, it's sort of coming back, isn't it? In some.
Is that ironic? I don't think it is ironic.
Yeah.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, it is.
Have they just said that they are going to bring it back?
Well, it's going on this weird subscription thing, isn't it?
It's a print on demand. So basically, what they've said is, and I'll read out the official. Statement. It says that we are delighted to bring back Ashes: Rise to the Phoenix Spawn, potentially back in a new way and a new light. One of the ways we're going to be doing this is by running it on a subscription basis every 3 months. This is going to be primarily rolled out to the USA and Canada. It is going to be a print on demand, so we will be looking for at least 1,000 subscribers before we take it to print and start to distribute it.
Okay.
I wonder if Mr. Mike Poole will be subscribing to that, because I know he was a fan of that.
Well, apparently what I've said is that apparently what I've read about it, flying about, and is that it's only the USA and Canada just now, which means the shipping is astronomical to the UK. So I don't know. I'd like to know.
Unfortunate.
I'd like to know. I have.
Would you? Would you like to know?
I'd like
Would
to know. I'd like to know. Or maybe I'm lying. See, this is just,
So tell us about the game.
You had the statement in front of you.
I gave you the list of games, right?
This is true.
I gave you the list of games. Therefore, I was also able to prepare along the same lines. Remember that barbershop quartet? Remember Redfoot? Mr. Kobayashi. Oh, yeah. Are you going to be dropping your coffee cup anytime soon? See, this is all going all different types of places, Mr. Pryor. All different types of places. Anyway, do you want me to describe Ashes: Rise of the Phoenix?
Yes, you tell us about this terrible game. I forgot that I had played this one. This is the only one on the list that I've played.
Ashes: Rise of the Phoenix Spawn is a deck building resource management game where your idea is you're trying to make Mars a habitable place, and you do this through lowering the temperature, increasing the amount of oxygen, and building colonies in order to populate the red planet.
Okay, sounds very different to the game of it that I played.
Right. Okay, that's not true. Right. Ashes: Rise of the Phoenix. Ashes: Rise of the Phoenix Spawn is a pre-deck built game where you are essentially one of the Phoenixborn who's facing off against another Phoenixborn, and you're using this through either gaining magic spells or by sending animals or creatures into the battlefield to fight your side. It's been produced for the last 4 years now, and each deck is pre-constructed. So there's not like an actual deck building option or anything like that. And it's known for having slightly but very, very wonderful art. So there you go.
This is one of the few licenses Plaid Hat got to leave with under their arm, wasn't it? This and Summoner Wars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everything else stayed with Asmodee and Fantasy Flight, and that?
No, I think some of the stuff. I think some games went to Z-Man.
I mean, they
games, yeah.
distributed amongst wherever.
Yeah,
but
they lost quite a lot. But Asmodee decided, if you're going to be leaving us, we're wanting to take the carpets and the furniture and the lights. Oh, and we'll have that cup of tea
it was an ugly divorce. An ugly divorce. Yeah.
Yep. Is there any other? No.
True.
Anyway, bringing it back into the room again. So that is Ash's rise to the Phoenix Born.
Okay. All right, Luke.
So is it me asking my question?
You're asking.
Yes, it is. It is you.
So
answering
when
that.
you have a living card game, I know Ashes isn't technically a living card game, but similar concept. Do you like when a living card game ends and you can complete your set and just enjoy, providing it obviously got to a decent size, or do you like for it to just keep going?
I'm kind of like the littlest hobo in these types of things.
That's the answer to a very different question, Richard.
And I like to go town to town, solving people's problems. And just at the point where they're turning around and there's some kind of attachment, everybody, they just turn around, they take a look, and I'm just gone again. And it's how I like to treat my card games. I like a card game to have an end, to have a finish.
Mm-hmm.
I think you don't want to go the Star Wars route and end up having lots and lots of additional extra bits where at the end of the day the fan base just becomes frustrated and annoyed and asking why Ben Solo had to die. I don't know if that's the answer to your question or not.
It's an answer.
It is definitely an answer, isn't it?
An answer. Yep.
Definitely an answer. Not the answer, but definitely an answer. Now I'm gone again. Maybe
Fire away,
tomorrow
Mr. Cook.
Oops.
you wanna settle down. Right, Mr. Cook.
Okay, so the game is all about like prophecies of the different characters and stuff, and that there will be this like some fellas died, and it's like they're all trying to take that fella's place as the Phoenix Born or something.
Yes.
So, if someone had written a prophecy about you when you were younger, what do you think it would have been? Or what would it have said?
I can't wait to hear this.
I just probably like the littlest hobo. That I would probably be. No, I don't know. I think people are amazed. Would be amazed he would amount to anything at all. You know, that if the apocalypse were to come, I would be in the bit of the film where you see the cut scene to the guy in the car going, "Oh no!" and then, and that would be me. There's no. If anybody had read a prophecy, it's like how has nobody killed him yet? It's quite annoying. I'm aware of how annoying I can be. I'm annoying. I'm stubborn. I'm quite grumpy. I can be very, very opinionated. So I think that would be the prophecy would be, oh, you're still here? Well, then you can have it all, you know. But then, if you then looked at me, then turned back, and then looked, I'd be gone. Just doing something else.
I think I've learned everything I need to know.
There you go.
Glad you have.
I'm not using any lifelines. Do you want to use one?
Do you want to use a lifeline?
Nope.
No? You're going to save them all for the last three games?
The last three games, yeah.
That's how to play it. Right.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident where that's roughly sitting.
Game 3 then. Catacombs and Castles.
Yes. By Elja Games, designed by Aaron West. Roughly 2017. Catacombs and Castles is a deck building and resource management game where players will use their resources in order to either lower the temperature and also increase the amount of oxygen on the planet of Mars.
Are you just trying to make us ask when we get to ask you about a random game? You're just trying to make us. You're planting the seed, so we just say terraforming base, so you can just say it's better.
Anything that's going on, I've read this directly from the manual that Aaron West penned with his own fine Canadian hand. I would just like to say. Well, anyway, Catacombs and Castles is a dexterity game using the patented. I don't know if it's patented. That could be a lie. The patented Catacombs dexterity system, where you will play basically one of two sides, either the Catacombs side or the Castle side, and you'll have two teams of little discs, and your idea is you're meant to attack the other team by flicking them and hitting them directly using a melee attack, or by bringing little weapons. Each character has their own skills and weapons that they can bring into the fray, and they can flick those discs in order to hit their opponents, reduce their life points, and therefore win the game. Tom Vassell, in his review, said that he found it was impressive. He was a big fan of the original Catacombs game, but he liked the intensity and short play of this game over the original.
Because there's like 5 or 6 different versions of it, isn't there?
Yeah, there's loads. Yeah,
There is, yes. There is.
Weirdly, I think we learned recently that there's not a second edition, though. I think that was this game. It was like first and then third, and then another one, and then this one.
Yes.
And then there's an expansion for this one, but it also fits one of the others. It was all a bit...
Yes, there's kind of like the Werven's Tale, and there's the whole pile of other ones, and then he's got his smaller version as well.
Yeah.
And there's all different types of games. And the latest game is a building game, which is called Catacombs Cubes, which is a complete different department.
So they're not all flicking ones?
They're not all flicking ones.
Is that the first one that's a departure from flicking?
The Catacombs Cubes is the first one that is a departure from
so they
flicking.
were all flicking.
All the other ones, they were all flicking games. There was a lot of flicking going on up until then, and then Aaron got married, and now he's building. The man's building. That's what he's doing. He's taking blocks and he's building a new life, maybe.
And a new adventure. Okay.
New adventure.
What would you do if you got trapped underground?
Well, I'm kind of lucky in that the fact that I recently lockdown made me decide made a couple of different life choices. One of them was to purposely eat healthily, and the other one as well was to grow my nails. And I don't know if you can see this at the camera, but I have been steadily growing my nails using a mixture of sheer willpower and a sneaky bit of nail varnish. And what that has allowed me to do is that's got me into the nice position where, obviously the main fingernails, they're still quite, I feel there's a little bit of strength in there. But these thumbnails are beauties. These thumbnails are absolute beauties. I've got to watch when I'm having a scratch that I don't cut myself. So what I'm saying is that if I was trapped underground, I would probably just basically claw my face off.
Oh.
And then
I thought that was going to go differently.
Yeah, I think that would be but no, I would attempt to obviously dig my way out of the ground in a kind of a Kill Bill styley Uma Thurman, kind of clawing my way through a magical rising up, and then going out and extracting my revenge using my 5-fingered palm exploding heart palm technique, such as the way these nails will do. Okay?
Yeah. Thanks. It's helpful. Luke?
That was not... Even I was sitting there going, what are you talking about? So,
well, I was thinking, like, if you got trapped in catacombs, because they're usually underground, aren't they? I went in some catacombs in Rome. They're a bit creepy.
Did you get out again?
Yeah, because it's a guided tour, so they kind of knew what they were doing.
Was there a door there? Was there a door there by any chance?
Yeah.
Not really trapped then, yeah?
I didn't say I was trapped. It's like, but you might get trapped.
It was... All right, okay. Is that a threat? You see that? I'm glad this is being broadcast, because if I disappear and my body gets found in a catacombs in Rome with my face clawed off and me dead, then everybody will know it's Mr. Mark Cook, who's obviously trying to add murder to his previous convictions.
Murder!
Murder!
There's been a murder! I would say, right. I don't know whether it's like a foreshadowing of what you're describing there, but that fella on the cover, trapped in the catacombs, looks awfully like you.
I can't even talk to you anymore. Can I just do the rest of the show with handsome one of the two?
Right, Luke.
I think
That's your cue, I think.
so.
So,
Would you prefer a
Mhm.
vast castle that dominates the horizon, or a modest castle with a sprawling network of catacombs and dungeons? As to what I shall gain from this, I don't. But I'm intrigued is the answer.
I'm really intrigued that you'd even ask that question. That I look like the type of person who's gonna just go about and say, "Oh, look at the size of my castle. Would you like to come round?" And even like, order things from like say Amazon just to get the Amazon driver to come to my big castle, so I could say, "Oh yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I should have wrote third door in this one, so you knew you were coming to the right door. I'm really, really sorry about that."
Did I not write which wing?
I know. I know. Usually we get people to deliver parcels round the back, but that would have taken me 3.5 hours to walk round there because it's so big.
My massive castle.
My massive castle. But then on the other side of things, I'm a big fan of the Caped Crusader. So there is
Like a little bat cave, would you?
there is part of me that would like a little bit of a bat cave, and probably it'd give me an excuse to trap an old pensioner and have them be a butler for me. Just
It reminds me, I've got to feed mine later.
and just remind them that I am potentially, I'm a highly trained killer, and he is an old frail man, so he better continue to be my butler. Otherwise, there's a chances that I could kill him, and that's where that comes to it. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking. So the answer to your question is, I am a really big brag artist, as you know. So of course it's the really first big castle.
Yours is showy, is it? Showy.
It would be like it'd have a flag. It'd have a flag at the top and everything. It would be amazing.
Just one flag.
Well, a big flag would be really big, and then I'd change flags.
Lots of banners.
Christmas lights.
Trumpeters.
It'd
all
be
the
like
time.
the one from Shrek. Like that kind of castle.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, except I'm not short. I'm not actually standing at the table just now. I'm not trying to walk over here. I'm just gonna get a game. And you see me kind of walk over there, and it cuts to like The Hobbit. They're trying like the games aren't on the really, really high shelf, and I'm like just having to go, "Honey, could you get the games down and put them on the big shelf again?" No, you can't. I end up going on
steps out.
on the naughty step again. But yeah, a really big castle, that'd be cool. Are you getting me one?
Eventually.
Good, thank you.
So you use the lifeline, Luke?
Yes.
Which one?
Oh, okay. Okay.
I, on this one, will have Game Face, please.
Oh, okay.
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 There you go.
I'm going to use random rank. So,
okay.
what I'd like to know...
I can't hear this, yeah? Is that right?
No, or just don't look. It'll indicate. So what I'd like to know is whether you rank this game higher or lower than Through the Ages.
You good?
Good. Yeah. Got it.
He's looking at the delay feed on Facebook.
No. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that's a good point.
Delay feed on Facebook.
That's a good point.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
That must have gone by
Oh
now.
my days.
Hang on, I've still got my hands over my eyes.
Well, this is the first episode of this
Hang on,
show.
let me get rid of
already-
it. There you go. I have got rid of it. I got rid of it. There you go.
I can't even believe I'm beside myself with absolute. This is
Oh,
wonderful.
we just dropped to 0 viewers.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Right. GKR Heavy Hitters,
Right. Okay.
which is a big old game.
It is a big old game.
I haven't played GKR
You could
yet.
crush your elderly butler with this game.
You could crush your elderly butler. You'd actually probably just asking him to get it out for you.
Off the high shelf.
Probably. Yeah, go and get that down. Which is a bit annoying because he's only slightly taller than I am, but it means he needs to be at
Michael.
the step.
Michael, get the big game. All right,
How did
Master
you-
Richard.
He calls me my lord. That's what he calls me. Thank you very much. Okay, GKR Heavy Hitters is a deck building resource management game in which you are trying to either increase the oxygen level or decrease the temperature in order to colonize the planet of Mars. Games will hope to use the resources to accumulate points and thus be the victor at the end of the game.
Sounds awfully a lot like the last game.
Well, if there's something, I am very, very consistent. GKR Heavy Hitters, it stands for Giant Killer Robots. It was essentially I believe it was the first proper big game that Weta Games actually brought to Kickstarter. And it is about, basically, it's a huge, massive skirmish game where you will essentially take huge, big, giant robots and face them off against each other using a mixture of dice and cards with the idea that you're trying to demolish as many buildings as possible in order to gain kudos and gain points and basically win at the end of the day. It's huge. It's generally huge. It's huge. It's bigger than Mark. Bigger.
I got a really good Kickstarter Deluxe version where actually it comes with all this cardboard armor, and you need 4 sort of 5 to 6 year old, which you strap them on with the armor onto, and you make them fight it out. It's brilliant. It's so immersive. It's really good. It's really, really good.
It gives us something to do during lockdown because they have to social distance as they're hiding from each other on the buildings, which is always, and of course, when they play it at my castle, we just give them a tower each to try and defend. So that's always
perfect.
Racking good.
So you're up first then, Mark.
No, Ian, you are.
Isn't it?
It's you.
Oh, is it me this time? Right,
Luke.
let me get my question up. So, are you aware of the movie Pacific Rim? Yes. Have you seen the movie Pacific
I'm
Rim?
aware of there's 2 types of them. Yes, there's two of those types of movies. Yes, I am.
Right. So, if you were a Pacific Rim Jaeger pilot,
Yes.
who would be your co-pilot that attuned with you and allowed you to both pilot the Jaeger? As in Pacific Rim, you need 2 people to pilot the Jaeger.
So it'd be me and someone else.
Yeah.
Standing.
There's somebody that basically they like meld with your mind. You're attuned so perfectly that you can share the sort of conductive load on your brain each that it takes to get the Jaeger to do your bidding.
I was thinking of this. I've been thinking because this is a really, really interesting question because it's going to tell an awful lot about where I view myself in the world and who I think would possibly want to share their mind with me.
True. And probably bugger all about your opinion of GKR Heavy Hitters.
Probably absolutely nothing. I'm going to go with your bearded favourite and mine, Mr. Dan Hughes.
Oh, hello.
And the reason for this,
because you don't actually want to take off. You just want to sit on the runway arguing about the price of car parts
for your Jaeger costume.
No, I can just imagine.
The reactor. I'm not paying them prices.
There's a couple of things, right? I can just imagine him jumping up with a victory slash going hello, and then smacking down on a Kaijin in a surprise type factor. And also, right, I'm a bit of I can be motivated when I want to be, but also I can be incredibly lazy. And I want somebody who's going to sit there and learn all about the machine, because if they've learned all about it, then I don't need to learn as much because they'll know how to pilot and stuff like that.
It doesn't sound like you're sharing the workload, as I believe the concept is supposed to be.
Well, I think in this kind of mind sharing, I'm providing the quick wit, good humour, and looks, and he's providing the 407-page manual on how to drive an antique Kaijin killing machine. And also, he can get quite obsessive, but in a kind of a good way, that he will go out and he will absorb as much information as possible.
Yeah, you're right.
My only concern is that he has absorbed information from different ways that I would break off at the end of the fight, and I'd straight away want to run away. I'd want to collect some stamps. That's it. You took
or Also,
Two
you'd be
people.
mid-fight. You'd be
Yeah.
mid-fight, and he'd go, "I think I've had enough of this."
Bored now.
And he'd be like,
Crash
and suddenly
and
you'd
burn.
be like, "What?" And you'd look
What
to
is
your
it?
left, and he'd be like, "He's gone.
He's
He's
gone.
gone."
He's
gone.
off
And then you're,
building a shed.
blood would dribble out your ear,
dead.
and that's it, done.
Next thing you know, he's joined the other side.
And then the next thing you know, you're getting beaten up by a 6-year-old covered in cardboard. It's...
Is it Thursday already?
Right, I forgot what I'm asking. If you could have your own mech for day-to-day
I wasn't
life...
finished. I wasn't finished.
Oh.
I wasn't finished. You jumped. No, I am finished.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you could have your own mech for day-to-day life, what attachments would it have?
Oh. Copper-based frying pan. As I've previously...
I'll underline that again.
Copper-based frying pan, because that's showing my life off. A copper-based frying pan. Do you know what? One of those extendable high-pressure washers, I think is always
that'd be
pretty
useful.
good. I think that would be extremely... You know what your chocolate cut, madam? Do you know what I mean? Is that chewing gum annoying you?
Someone walks up to you with their mask like under their nose. Get away.
Crowd control. Yeah.
You'd lose an arm. Just rip it off.
One of those.
You're not wearing it properly. I just go about like this. I just go about
Our
like
drain just look like they need a bit of a water.
this. There's that. I also do the Joker thing. Do you know, like your man? What's his face? I'd have a normal face. I go about like my face mask like that.
What, Kane?
Instead, no, Jared Leto.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
the
no,
Bane,
that's-
no.
Bane.
No, you
Okay.
see, no, not Bane. I've got a Bane face mask. It's quite funny. My wife doesn't like me wearing it.
I would like to
Is it-
order.
I'd like Big Mac and fries. Anyway, yeah. So what was the question again? Oh, yeah, other attachments as well. So we've got the frying pan to cook stuff
Yeah.
and wear as a hat. And then we've got the pressure washer.
Like the one in the picture. He's got a pressure washer.
Yeah. And I think that would be it. I don't think I'd need anything else. I think I would be fine. Keeping things clean and also being able to cook and tell people how good I was at cooking, which is a bragging right. It's not very funny, but it is quite practical.
Okay.
Right.
Alright, last one then.
Right.
Hang on, lifeline.
Oh, lifeline.
Oh,
Go on then.
somebody's coming in with his lifeline. Okay.
So I've got the do you own it, and I've got the rank against a
Random.
game I nominate, which I presume can't be a game off the list that we're currently doing.
No. A different game. And
That would be really funny. Try
and
it.
also, if he's not played it, you've just wasted your lifeline. Because he'll just be like...
Uh-huh. So my lifeline, I'll go with the do you own it?
Okay. Oh.
Cover your face. Cover you. I can see. Cover his face. Right, we're done.
Thank you.
That's quick.
Sorry. Oh.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Last one then.
Building a picture.
Mice and Mystics. Tell us about this deck building resource management game.
Oh, you played it. I don't need to explain it. Is where you are trying to manage your resources in order to either increase the oxygen level or lower the temperature on the planet of Mars in order to create a livable atmosphere that will allow you to colonize it and gain points, and the person with the most points will actually win the game. It's lucky I only repeated that 5 times. It's not going to get repeated again. Mice and Mystics is a little skirmish game. It's a little dungeon crawling, very much led by kind of like a storybook kind of based work, where your idea is you're taking a band of small rodents around through several chapters in order to kill the queen, who is turned into a spider, and avenge your father, who is turned into a slightly decaying corpse at this
Lovely.
time. It plays anywhere from about 2 to 6 players. It has various different components, including cheese and hearts. It has lovely miniatures, roughly about that size. And it was one of the first games that Plaid Hat actually published. Designed by Jerry Hawthorne. It's gone on to spawn such sequels as Tail Feathers, as well as probably setting him up for his later design entries into games like Aftermath as time has gone on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Mice and Mystics
Right.
by Plaid Hat.
I believe it might be getting some sort of screen adaptation as well. There's been a lot of talk about it, apparently.
I think there was rumours floated about when it was still under the gaze of Asmodee, and I wondered if they looked at an IP and thought that's potentially. I would actually between all of them, I would probably say Stuffed Fables potentially had the
That's
one
true.
to
Yeah,
be made into some kind of adaptation.
do we know where Mice and Mystics went? Did it? Who got hold of Mice and
Stayed with
Mystics?
Asmodee, I think.
Is it with Asmodee? Is it?
I think it is with Asmodee. Yeah.
I think didn't it go to FFG maybe?
I was going to say I'm surprised they wouldn't be tempted to give it to FFG. It's more in their wheelhouse. Yeah.
Well, but it's still Asmodee. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it didn't go away with Plaid Hat.
No, I mean,
I know that. Yeah.
My only thing with that is they'll probably re-release it, and then they'll release it with a whole pile of extra additional characters. You know, they'll try and change it into like a little dungeon crawler with additional stuff that you can buy, which is fine. It's a very nice game. It's very, it's a difficult.
I thought Aardman already did a screen adaptation of this. You know, and it had the mice flushed away.
Flushed away.
Yeah. Okay.
More toast from it. Right.
If you were part of a questing group, what would your role be?
Is this a trick question?
No.
What kind of group? What I would be? I would be a wizard.
Wizard.
No.
What?
No, I'd be human. I'd be a human.
Got you.
I'd be. I don't know. I've been working so hard to avoid this from happening. I can't believe you're so cunning. You're so clever, Mr. Cook. So clever that you just came. I didn't even notice that coming in. Oh, I'm so disappointed in myself.
I have
I've made
passed
to
an
go away.
Alzheimer's test.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a McDonald's. No. I have played D&D character. I'm currently playing a D&D character at the moment who's a human fighter, whose name is Noah Wizard.
Not no, wizard.
It's not.
Yes, yeah. I'll show you. In fact, I've got it on this book. Here's my book, just to prove that I've done this. I'll show you. There you go. Okay, I'm probably going to put this up to camera. I hope everybody can see it. I think. Oh, let me. Put
Oh, there's your list of 5 games as well in order.
No, they're not. There you go. You can see that. There you go.
That's
fabulous.
Is it? That's fabulous.
That's also the name of my character in Animal Crossing New Horizons as well. So there you go. So here's me stopping doing the podcast in order to take on a completely new identity. There we go. So that's that. Yes, so that would be my character. Probably a human fighter with incredible dexterity.
Great. Okay.
So,
Did you ask a question?
No,
I'm asking now.
it's building up to it.
If you were transported to an anthropomorphic fantasy land, what creature would you be, and what fantasy class would you be? You might have already answered that, but
That's a really, really good question. I must admit, when they'd been sent over before, I kind of got bored when I got to your bit, so I didn't kind of look at it. I don't know. There's so many different animals. I have to be a rabbit because I've been I can have a bit of a rabbit fan. I have a rabbit, and there's now wild rabbits because human beings have been away from the grassy places. There's actual wild rabbits that come into my garden and eat my grass, which is it's not a euphemism. It's actually true. And so that's kind of it. So I'd like to be a rabbit, and if I was going to be anything, I think a rabbit would probably be a little bit stealthy, so they'd probably be like a rogue or some kind of thief.
Okay.
So this would be a rogue, or some kind of thief.
Okay.
Okay. If you rearrange the letters, that tells you the position where that game is. It doesn't. It doesn't. That's a lie. Such
I was
a
about
lie.
to say that's like doing
Such
it's
a
doing the
lie.
conundrum at the end of the countdown.
Mark's,
there.
you can
That's-
see Mark's writing it down. It sees like that. Oh, does it? Just, see if you rearrange the letters right now. There you go.
Well, I learned the other day that I
Yeah.
forgot what letter it's not in.
What?
Never mind. So there's no number from 0 to 999 that contains the letter A. There you go. That's a good number fact
What?
for you.
It's a nice
What?
little pub quiz fact, that.
Is it? How's that?
Hmm.
How's that, Ted? How's that? Wait. Oh. I mean, nah. This isn't right. Okay, give me it. Right. Okay.
Give me 999 seconds.
One,
You obviously have to discount the and when you're writing it. So you'd write
3,
999, not
5.
and 99. Alright. I'm going to use my last lifeline.
As shall I.
Okay. So, game face, Richard.
13. I'm losing count here. 13. What? What are we doing?
Game face.
Okay. Can't even see. I've not got my glasses. I really should like them. Right. Okay. There we go. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it covered. You can just keep it covered forever. Just keep it covered. Keep it covered. What is?
I was handsome 2 seconds ago.
Oh. I meant to be doing this.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay. And then
Sounds
Luke.
good.
Luke
is doing a random rank against another game.
Yeah. So
15,
17.
18.
Random rank versus
20.
terraforming Mars.
It worked!
It works, yeah.
Even I know where that's going to come against Terraforming Mars.
Yeah, I think I knew.
I
what
could
your
just
opinion
look.
of terraforming was. Thank you, Richard.
Right?
You can stop now, right? Okay, where was I? 20.
Very good. Okay, so what we're going to do... A little scoreboard's just come up. What we're going to try and do is Luke and I are going to say what we've got in each position. Afterwards, I think I've...
27.
I'm going to leave that there. And then Richard will go and we'll see how well we've done. So, number 5.
Is he paused?
It's quite funny because we can.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's back again. I thought for a second we'd lost him forever, and that would have been a cracking end to the show. Everybody would be going, they never actually found out how it was ranked. Oh my goodness. Tune in next week. Tune in next week.
For this
when we
exciting
find out
finale.
what we ranked. This is how you do it. You film this bit, and then you don't do it live, and you come back on and get everybody to come on next week like they would care.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'll do that next time.
Anyway.
It's the first one. Right. Luke, what have you got in number 5?
No.
Catacombs.
Oh, okay. Plop that on the screen. There we go. I have got Wildlands at number 5. And then at number 4, I've gone GKR. What have you got, Luke?
I have Mice and Mystics.
Oh, wow. I thought we'd almost end up with like quite a similar list. Maybe the questions were a bit too random. What have you got in number 3?
No, GKR.
Okay. I have got Catacombs. Bop. Okay. We'll get there. Number 2, I've gone Ashes. What
As
got?
have I.
Ah, it's our first matchup, which obviously leaves for you in number 1 is Wildlands.
Yep.
Wow. And I have gone with Mice and Mystics. So,
I think you got Master Mystics at the top.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I should have done, but I decided to stick to my guns.
Okay. Go on then, Richard. Have it to us. Number 5.
I just think that the amount of times you've ranked together, I would have thought you would have been a lot closer.
I thought we would have been closer.
And you're finishing.
We're
and you're
almost.
finishing.
Where are we? Where are we round?
Number 5. Mice and Mystics.
Oh, I was closer.
It's a lovely, adorable game, but it is in fact one of the most difficult games I've played in terms of a turn-based dungeon crawler.
You gave me a big rock and roll grinny face about it.
Yeah, because I've got nostalgic. I've got like What was that comparing against? You did I say Through the Ages or something like that?
No, that was Game Face I had for that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Through the Ages is like quite. I played. I think I played Through the Ages at where was it? Gearstones. Yeah, I played that game. Okay. Yeah, that was good.
Didn't that game last about 4 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame who I played it with.
The rules lasted about 4 hours, and then.
Yeah, I kind of, yeah. But Mice and Mystics, very, very incredibly tough, incredibly thematic, incredibly beautiful, but definitely not a kid's game, funnily enough, in terms of its difficulty. Number 4, we had GKR Heavy Hitters.
Oh, damn it, that's not me. Damn. I got all excited.
And it is actually one of the games that I own. So look at that.
It's ridiculous.
That is just look at that. That's the size of my head. It's not a big
Maybe
head.
my question should be if you
got the set for the 6-year-olds as well. Good.
Rather than being trapped underground, if you got trapped in the GKR Heavy Hitters box, how would you get out?
You'd be fine. You'd be able to live in there. It's like it also sum up for the castle question. If you had to live in a really big castle or the GKR Heavy Hitters box, which one would you live in? Well, I don't know. It depends on the size of the castle. Number 3, Wildlands.
Oh no!
Wildlands is a tactical is a kind of I really enjoy the gameplay, but I also enjoy the fact that they have been committed to bringing out new factions, and also at the same time that they've also done a Judge Dredd kind of variant of the game as well. But the maps themselves are not just additional maps; they actually bring in additional gameplay elements and modes, and so it's incredibly quite easy to learn. And it's kind of hats off to Martin Wallace because he's not known for his skirmish games. So that was number 3. Number 2.
I think we're both right.
Catacombs and Castles.
That's
wow.
Unlike its big brother Catacombs, it spends it does spend its time at the table and can go into a campaign type style. Just like Tom Vassell said, it does allow you to play it on quicker games, shorter games. You don't have to go into the full campaign mode. It's ideal just to chuck it on the table, have a couple of rounds, play it for half an hour, 60 minutes, and put it away again without the need to get it kind of back again. It's got the wonderful production values that Eldra bring to the table. Fantastic art by is it Kwanchai Moriana, and love it. Really. In fact, the whole series, it was a toss up between actually this and bringing in a different one of the other Catacombs games, because I think I've pretty much got them all. Oh. So I could have just done every Catacombs game instead. So there you go. Which means number 1,
Terraforming Mars. A deck building.
Terraforming Mars, which was after years of blackmail, blind threats, and DMs filled with rage. I'm delighted to see that Stephen Bonacore has retired, and
that's so harsh.
And I'm hoping that the management that have taken over look at them the mistake that they've made with, this game, and raise it from Stronghold game existence. The only good Hex game that Stronghold Games ever did was Escape from Atlantis. Everybody knows it. Nobody wants to admit it. But it's far easier, it's far cleaner, and it doesn't have a terrible card drafting in it either. No, Ashes Rise of the Phoenixborn. It is just a lovely undersung, beautiful, stunning looking, easy to play card game where the range of characters on offer are wonderful. The range of the strategies on offer are absolutely fantastic. I'm very, very delighted that they're going to be bringing this back into circulation again, even if it's on the subscription model using Covenant. I'm slightly sad at the fact that potentially it's not going to reach these shores unless we pay a stupid number of prices. But hopefully somebody is going to. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get access to it somehow. So that's where I am. That is my rankings.
Well done. Well, with a whopping 1 point, I believe that makes me the winner.
You could take a moral victory, maybe.
I didn't do too bad, other than the Mice and Mystics,
What, getting one completely the other end to the...
Yeah, other than that, if you wrap around...
You thought his best game was his least favourite.
I had Ashes at the top until that last, all the way through. I had Ashes at the top, and then when it made this face of Mice and Mystics.
The clue was in the frying pan. The clue was in the frying pan.
It was the frying pan all along.
Bin. It was a dusty bin clue. It was a dusty bin clue. Do you want to explain it to? Copper coloured, yeah. Copper coloured is bright orange, right?
Bronze.
What? Bronzy, coppery colour. What else is known for being kind of coppery coloured? A phoenix when it goes up. Yeah. If you're cooking things over a long period of time using a frying pan, eventually these things might burn like a fried egg, like the crispy bit of the egg that was left at the end. Potentially you've got Ashes. And if you'd put that all together, you would have got Ashes Rise of the Phoenixborn. That's where he got his 1 point from.
Yes.
Just telling you.
It
was there all along.
There we go. 3, 2, 1. Well, thank you very much.
Well played.
Find Luke over on Standard Tabletop on the YouTube.
Do that.
Yes.
Fantastic stuff. Luke is doing some amazing stuff with his models, and just join that group and go, I can't believe these people have such dexterous hands, because some of the work on there is absolutely phenomenal. Matt, not you. Lots of stuff in there is phenomenal stuff. So,
and if you go to the YouTube channel, that first blog is great. About 7 minutes in, I think it is. 7 minutes 26 seconds. Is particularly good.
No, you're way later than that.
22 minutes.
The two of you appear way later than that.
I was trying to remember off the top of my head.
It's about 20 minutes into a vlog that was way too long. That's
good. When are you doing another vlog?
I have filmed something, but yes, it's coming.
Okay.
I keep sort of doing things and thinking, nah, I'm not happy with that.
So go over, give Luke a subscribe and join his group, especially if you are into miniatures or painting of any kind, Dulux, all of it.
Painting stuff black and then getting a brush and going like that. And then going, look, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and everybody going, oh, it's so beautiful, it's lovely. Then that's
and Richard is on Wizards gardening leave, as Luke said. But he has plenty of episodes that you can go and listen to.
Yeah, and I'm doing YouTube as well.
Doing YouTube stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing YouTube as well. YouTube, We're Not Wizards Tabletop Podcast. We're doing kind of some reviews. I'm doing some previews. I'm trying to do some different stuff on that. We've got our blog, we're not wizards.co.uk, and I'm just taking over and plugging as much as I can, but...
Do it.
Thank you.
But go and check those out, and thank you all so much. We have been a pair of rankers, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.